begin, we're first going to put in a horizon line. We're going to make our horizon line a little bit wavy. And our horizon line is simply where the sky meets the ground, a horizon line. And then you can add a dot or a point on this horizon line. And this is going to be for 1 point perspective. So we're going to make a big curved line going down to the end of our page. And then I'm going to go over quite a bit, nice and wide. And then I'm also going to connect this point, going thin and getting thicker and thicker until I hit that dashed line that we created. So now our path is nice and wide at the bottom and gets smaller and smaller as it goes back off into space. We're going to give that same illusion with our birch trees. So the first birch tree I'm going to draw is going to be almost as tall as the horizon line. It's going to be a really, really big tree. Take it all the way down to the end of the page. I'm going to give this birch tree a little bit of branches. And then at the end, I'm going to go back through and add a bunch of shadows. And then the next tree, I'm going to go up on the path. And notice how wide this one is. We're going to make this one a little bit thinner and not quite as tall. So I'm going to stop it about here. A little bit of shadow. And now we're going to move on to a little bit smaller tree. And again, smaller. So fit in as many as you can. All right, so we got one side complete. Now we're gonna add trees on this side. Same thing, nice and thick on one side at the beginning, more towards the bottom. It's okay if the trees overlap the path a little bit. All right, and now inside these white birch trees, we're going to add the black dashed lines. So you can create lots of black dashed lines, some big, some small, thick, thin, doesn't matter. So go ahead and fill those areas. And I'm going to speed mine up. You can go ahead and pause the video if you need to. All right, so now all my birch trees are filled in. The next thing I'm gonna add is Mount Fuji, which is the biggest mountain in Japan. And I'm gonna start off by doing a scalloped line kind of above our path, our 1 point here for our 1 point perspective. And I'm going to take this side and go pretty far to the edge of the paper. And I'm going to take this side and just bring it down. I'm going to do another scallopy line. And then I'm going to divide those little scalloped lines into sections. And then I'm just going to create some texture by adding some organic shapes, kind of some squiggly ovals and little dashed lines, different sizes and thicknesses, just to create some interest, make it look rugged with that mountain texture. All right, so once you've colored that in, now we can add a few more detail lines. Added a few over to the side as well. There we go. You add some at the bottom. All right, so we've got in Mount Fuji. And then now is the fun part. I'm going to show you guys some Japanese symbols, and you can choose which one you want to put up in your sky and how many, or maybe you want to put some down here on the ground. So I suggest you do that before you start your coloring. I'm going to add this one over here. And this one represents strength. I love Japanese symbols. They're so artistic and beautiful. They're a great thing to add to a Japanese inspired artwork. So you can do as many symbols as you'd like. I added 4 symbols in the one that I did on Procreate. But this one I'm probably just going to add 2. But again, you can do whatever symbols you want to choose. And you can make them as big or small, wherever you want to put them. Some students like to put them in the mountain, Mount Fuji, whatever you'd like. So then when you get to this point, then you can start your coloring. And one thing I recommend is using value. So going light, medium, and darks when you're coloring. So if you're using crayons, colored pencils, that's ideal. Or if you're coloring online, using an app like Procreate, which is what I did. If not, you can just use your markers and break it into different sections. So in my sky, for example, I use that scallop line again. It kind of represents a cloud. And then now I could use different warm colors. So if I wanted to use orange, red, and yellow into these sections. And then in the mountain, you could use purples and blues, cool colors to really make that mountain stand out. And then for the grass, you could add different values of green. You could also do blues or purples in your path, or maybe just do some gray with your pencil. So that is all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to click like and subscribe.